Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Prophet ﷺ said, "The truthful and trustworthy merchant shall be with the prophets, saints and martyrs on the day of rising." Subhanallah. The merchant who simply buys and sells will on the day of rising be with the prophets, saints and martyrs, occupying the highest ranks. Yes, this is a person who will have traded without being deceived by wealth. And wealth deceives most people. As they say, money changes hearts. The beloved ﷺ engaged in trade prior to being sent with the message and was well known for being both truthful and trustworthy. The greatest obstacle to success is the fear of failure. The Prophet had a connection with merchants and encouraged them. There was a man called Urwa al-Bariki. The Prophet gave him a dinar to buy a sheep for him. Urwa went and bought 2 sheep with the dinar. Then he sold one for a dinar. He returned to the Prophet and gave him the sheep and the dinar. The Prophet ﷺ asked him what he had done. Urwa recounted what he did. The Prophet said to him, "May Allah bless you in your business dealings." This Urwa al-Bariki then became one of the biggest merchants and went to Iraq. Even if he went to a dumping ground, he would make profits. He would earn revenue from whatever he sold by the blessings of the Prophet's supplication. The Prophet ﷺ said, "For any one of you to pack a bundle of firewood and sell it in the marketplace is better than to beg from people." Work, move. The purest of earnings, the Prophet said, is that which is from the work of your hand. One must work, struggle and move such that one is not a burden on society. The higher hand is better than the lower one, the Prophet ﷺ said. Instead of taking, give so that you become someone with a role in society. This is what the Prophet wanted an Islamic society to be, dynamic and effective. Numbers are not necessarily the point. The Prophet once told a story that every merchant should note. The messenger said, if a merchant does not have any action, meaning no good deeds at all, then Allah, when He takes this person to account, will say, look to his actions. The angels will discover that he had no righteous actions, except that he would consider those in need and overlook their lack of funds. And Allah will say, I am more worthy of overlooking than he is. Allah is indeed great. Allah said that this individual had no righteous actions. But if someone came to him with the debt, or a poor person came who could not afford the price of goods, he would overlook this and prolong the time to pay back the debt. Allah thus says, I am more worthy of being generous than this person. And so Allah forgives such a person and enters him into paradise. Take account what you are owed and what you owe, and pay off your debts. The Prophet ﷺ said, may Allah have mercy on a person who is lenient when he sells, lenient when he buys, and lenient when he asks for payment. Magnanimity is important. Magnanimity, leniency, generosity. Such should be the motto on every shop, on every door of a company, on every office. Do we have this quality? Magnanimity means one is not aggressive, not harsh. One does not argue or quarrel. The world market is in desperate need of taking a second look at this concept, which the most magnanimous of creation taught us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 4% of customers who are displeased with the product or service complain. The rest go elsewhere. Every merchant must consider something called barakah, blessings. For example, someone who buys and sells by constantly taking oaths in Allah's name. The Prophet ﷺ said, making oaths hastens the sale of goods. Maybe someone selling will say, by Allah, I bought it for such and such price. I lost such and such amount. And such a person may well be speaking the truth. But the Prophet ﷺ said, making oaths hastens the sale of goods, but erases the blessings. It removes blessings. The Prophet once went to the marketplace and found a man selling some food. The Prophet put his hand in the seller's container and found that the food was slightly decaying and going off. The Prophet ﷺ then said something important. He who cheats is not from us. He who cheats is not from us. Today cheating has become an art. People these days are multi-talented when it comes to cheating. Some sell their products under a false name or claim it is made in a particular country when it is not. This is cheating. Some put dubious substances in their food. This is also cheating. Some sell their products for an extremely high price, giving the impression that it is an original product when it is simply an imitation. This is cheating. There are many types of cheating. Don't search for a customer for your product. Search for a product for your customer. Learn the lessons of your Prophet with regards to trade and start in the name of Allah. You will have blessings and success. And we hope, Allah willing, that all our brethren, the youth, those following us who are working or have projects, that they succeed and that they become exemplars in this world and are with the prophets, saints and martyrs on the Day of Judgment.